If you want some FIFA 23 coins, please check out MMOXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're fast, cheap and reliable, and if you use code REMA you can get yourself a 5% discount. So what's up guys, my name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video guys, I'm going to be explaining why I believe that the Fut Champions is too overpowered in FIFA 23. Now as always guys, this is just my opinion. You guys might have differing views and that is okay, but if you are going to voice them, just make sure you keep it respectful, that's all I ask. So I think it's important that I start off by saying that I think EA have got the overall balance of FIFA 23 pretty good. It's the first time they've done it in quite a few years, I'll be honest. The fact that you are able to use different types of players, whether it be a big bulky striker or a smaller agile player, is great. I love that variety. I think attacking intelligence or AI has been improved quite a lot since the previous years. It's still not perfect, but again, it's better than it was. With all these better changes, the problem that I am mainly noticing is everybody's just using the Fut Champions, and the simple reason is it's overpowered. Now the reason it's overpowered is because despite what I've said about the game being fundamentally better than it was in previous years, there is still far too many flaws with the game. There's still too many mechanics that can be abused, and the mechanics that can be abused are best able to be used in a Fut Champions. Now the main issue with this formation, which proves there is a flaw with FIFA 23, is the fact that you can dominate without a midfield essentially. What a lot of people do with this formation is they will have all of their defenders on stay back, their CDMs on stay back, and then all of their cams and strikers on stay forward. So there is a massive gap between defense and offense. Now in a balanced game this would be horrific. You would never ever get near your opponent's box because you've got no midfield. You've got no way to transition from the back to the front. But in FIFA 23, with the game in its current state, you don't necessarily need these midfielders, because what you can do is keep all of these players back and ping one driven pass up to your cams or to your strikers, and you've broken through the entire midfield of your opposition without actually using a midfield. And this for me is the worst thing about it, because part of the attraction of football for me is breaking down your opponent. It's very difficult to get in and around your opponent's penalty box. In FIFA you can literally play one driven pass and you're in your final third of your opponent, you know? And part of the problem with these driven passes is that they are overly assisted, and I'm not talking about assisted in the sense if you aim at a player it will aim towards that player. What it will do is if somebody cuts that passing lane, if somebody reads that driven pass all the way from their defense up to their attack, it will alter the receiver's path. It will move the position of that player, and then the pass goes right around the person cutting the passing lane. So essentially you cut that passing lane and you get punished for doing so. Now as you see, when we talk about this Fut Champions formation, it's mainly to do with the flaws in the gameplay, so maybe not the formation itself. Like I said though, this formation is the best for abusing the mechanics that are in this game, and it highlights the flaws that are in the game. So let's talk about another flaw. So with the Fut Champions, like I said, you can keep 4 people up. When you've got the ball to those players with a driven pass or whatever, you can then just do an over-the-top through ball to a lengthy striker and you are in. That is it. I hate it. These over-the-top through balls, I don't care what anybody says, are overpowered. They are too good. When you can't play a first-time ground pass to somebody near you, but you can ping an over-the-top through ball that is perfectly weighted and accurate for your striker to run onto, you know there is a imbalance in the game. So aside from the driven passes and the over the top through balls, let's say you're just using these 4 attackers when you're in your opponent's final third. That's great and everything, right? But because you haven't had to commit any of your midfield or your defense to the attack to get into that position, which you should in a balanced game because it's necessary, when you lose that ball, you are unpunished. There is no consequence whatsoever. So why is this? Well, first off, we've got the pressure tactics in FIFA 23. There's press after possession loss, pressure on heavy touch, and constant press. What a lot of people will use is press after possession loss. So let's say you've done this driven pass from your defense all the way up to your attack, and you've tried this over the top through ball and your opponent defends it perfectly. Well, let's just use press after possession loss. You've got these 4 attackers that are covering the entire line where the ball is about. And they do so perfectly with these 4 players because they get the best coverage. So when you do mess up that attack, even in this formation, when your opponent tries to play out, because of these pressure tactics, it's very difficult for them to do so. So you end up getting the ball back with these 4 attackers anyway most of the time. But let's say for argument's sake, your opponent beats the press. You know, they beat your 4 attackers and they carry on the attack. Because of the way people are able to set up the 4-2-2, it does not matter. They've managed to finally get past your first 4 players. So what? They've still got 6 back. People are able to have all of their 4 defenders back and their 2 CDMs back, you know, basically 6 defending all the time. So when your opponent does beat the press of your attackers and they try and go on the counter attack, well, they're in a wall of 6 people trying to get past them. So the truth as to why this formation is overpowered is because to attack, you don't actually have to commit many people to the attack at all. You can just literally use your front line. That is it. Because of the fact you don't actually have to transition from defense to attack, you don't have to use your fullbacks to give you that extra width on the attack. You don't have to carry the ball forward with a CDM. When you lose the ball, there is 0 consequences to it because again, you don't have to commit anyone to the attack. You've always got these 6 people back, and when you do lose the ball, you can bring the other men back if you want to. So essentially you can press after you lose the ball and then literally drop back when the press doesn't work. So it's pretty much unstoppable most of the time. Now the reason I blame the gameplay for this formation being overpowered is because I think it's true. If people were not able to just play this one driven pass from their defense up to their attack, this formation would not be that effective in the way people use it. They wouldn't be able to then just quickly do an over the top through ball all the time. If they wanted to attack effectively in this formation, they would either have to commit a couple of their CDMs or maybe their fullback, and then they are vulnerable when they do lose the ball, the way it should be in football. You shouldn't be that good in attack and still have that many people back. For me, that doesn't make any sense. Now, in fairness, it's the same with formations like the 4-2-3-1, but the thing with the 4-2-3-1 is with the current meta of the game, it doesn't make sense to use that over a 4-2-2. It doesn't. Because despite having the exact same defensive style when you lose the ball with the 2 CDMs back and the 4 defenders back, the attacking positioning of players is just not as good for the meta of the game. So for example, with the 4-2-3-1, you have those 3 cams and the 1 striker, but it makes more sense with how over the top through balls are and the driven passes to have 4 people up the top all spread out across the pitch. Do you get what I'm saying? So to conclude, I think the main issue with the 4-2-2 is down to the annoying imbalance of FIFA 23, and to be fair, it's not just FIFA 23 where I've had this issue with the midfield and the driven passes and the over the top through balls, because it's been an issue for quite a while now. I don't think you should be able to effectively break down a midfield without using a midfield. Do you get what I'm saying? If this game was balanced correctly, you would be able to just keep these 4 people up top, sure, but your actual success rate of getting the ball to these players without a transition would be very difficult, and that would be better because that's how it should work. If this was how it worked in like real football, people would use this all the time. They're like, oh, we can keep all these players back and we can just have 4 people hanging on the halfway line. Brilliant. But yeah, that is why I think the 4-2-2 is just way too overpowered in FIFA 23. And like I said, I think it's down to how the gameplay actually is and the mechanics that people are able to use. Be sure to comment down below what your opinion is on the 4-2-2, whether or not you think it's overpowered, and if you think it's overpowered, why you think it's overpowered. But yeah, that's everything for the video, guys. If you have enjoyed it, I'd very much appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you all later. Peace out.